Hello, everybody. I am JT Vega, host of this show. Welcome to the BS Show, where I talk about a bunch of BS. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some stuff that's very interesting, but then again, I don't know. It's all bullshit. The fact that this show is basically not sponsored or anything like that, I just do this for fun, nothing more. I know that people are not going to watch this. It's basically just a show that I created just for the fun of it. You know, it offers live stream chats and everything. Basically, that's all I can tell you about this. Even voice chat, you can go into my Discord if you want to visit. It's linked down below. As much as I would like to have people come onto the show, I understand that a lot of people are busy doing their own thing and doing whatever they have to do. And sometimes it's not easy for people to talk about stuff. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and begin to talk about some stuff that's interesting. There's been some stuff that happened over the weekend, and a lot of people are talking about this. There's been a lot of YouTube videos popping up lately that really surprised me when I was watching some of them, and it's kind of sad that a lot of people are not aware of this. There's been some talk about this for a while, especially what's been happening on YouTube, and a lot of people are probably talking about this because this whole situation kind of escalated over Monica Rial, the voice actress of Bulma from Dragon Ball Z.
Kirk Bernard and his team took over.
Hate that when that happens. Now, keep this in mind. A lot of people are talking about this episode. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a video. And it's done by a YouTuber known as Super Saiyan Paul, who basically talked about Monica Rial's behavior and the whole accusation about Vic Mignogna. Now, a lot of people are not happy about this situation, and it's going too far for Monica Rial that she's practically planning on suing people for basically she claims that she's being harassed, but to me it's more like a bit of a disagreement on the internet. It tends to happen a lot. And I notice a lot of people have been she's threatening to sue and also bring the law into this whole situation. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play the video. And let's see here. And show you guys what it is.
Oh, that's hot.
So I'm going to go ahead and continue on and see how this is. Now, here we go. I'm going to skip this video here. I'm going to play.
If you question her.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to Super Saiyan Paul. So here he is.
What's going on, everybody? Super Saiyan Paul here, back at it again with some more information on this Monica Rial situation. So, if you guys didn't already know, we've done 3 videos on this. This is probably going to be my last one unless some major news comes out, but this one had to be made because she is pushing an agenda, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what she's doing and how the hypocrisy and the shadiness of Funimation is actually pushing this. So, if you guys are a fan of the channel, if you guys are a fan of my work, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe, and then comment down below with your thoughts and opinions. But on the past 3 videos I've made about this, all of you guys are, for the most part, the vast majority are all on the same page as me. And I feel like I've tried to side with her. And if she comes up with real allegations that have proof that put Vic in a bad light, I will side with her, but she hasn't done that, and the things that she's been doing is some of the shadiest crap you've seen everywhere. And like literally, not only that, she's going on a power trip. It's been proven, and it's still going on, and she is pushing an agenda. I'm going to prove that, as well as other things that are just not right in the situation. And when you think about what she's doing here and some of her co-workers, and the fact that Vic had to work with these people, it makes Vic look more and more innocent by the day. I'm not saying Vic is innocent in the right or anything like that. I'm still waiting for proof to come out. But if this is the type of people he's going against, something is off, and it's not on Vic's side. So I'm going to show you guys why I would say that they're pushing an agenda, and I'm going to show you guys how they're going on a power trip and where the agenda is trying to lead you guys. And I've seen comments from both men and women siding with me on the fact that this is wrong and this isn't the right way to go about things, and that these guys that follow these people and are actually signing them are incredibly stupid, and it's just something really, it's a big mess. So if you guys don't already know the situation, we've gone over this in the previous videos. Let me make sure that I have the actual tweets here, but like literally look at this one. So last night this is what she posted, and this is what caused everyone to go into a frenzy, especially me, because I think I was one of the first people to throw this up there. Like, yo, I was trying to play both sides, but then you go and post this shit where it's like, if you question her, you're in the wrong, and she will go all out on you, because apparently it's a problem if you ask questions. If you use your brain and ask questions, she's gonna try to silence you. And then at the same time, her and her little friends are gonna say the same exact thing, that, oh, they're trying to silence us and our powers and all of this bullshit, when in reality that's what they're trying to do to you. It's the hypocrisy tactic, it's the victim card. They're dogpiling on people, and they're using pity and a bunch of shit just to get more power. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean by this. So this is what she posted last night, and I went over this. Freedom of speech does not equal freedom from consequence. Before you choose to harass me, please be aware that I have attorneys and law enforcement involved who are taking all threats seriously. Just so we're clear, the legal definition of harassment is governed by the state of laws, which includes annoying, threatening somebody, intimidating, alarming, or putting a person in fear of their safety. So if you tell me that I suck in the comments and I'm afraid of you, I can report you for harassment. If you guys annoy her, she puts you in the same boat as Vic. Because when she says he here, she's clearly referring to Vic. So now, one of the guys that I literally had a picture of right here. Let's see. Look at this tweet from just yesterday. What's the time of this recording? Right now it's February 12th, a day ago. All he did was at her, and he said, you need to stop this. And she's playing the victim after backlash, which she is, but thank you for sending this mail. You realize this is harassment, right? My lawyer will be contacting you. Have a nice day. In what regard is this harassment? Please elaborate. You're spreading a Slenders video. Have a nice day. Kill them with love, everyone. Put on smiles and be the backstabbing bitch that you are, because we know for a fact that that's what she did to Vic. And at the same time, she's spreading Slender's judgment. So does that make sense? Is that not hypocrisy at the finest? She mutes/blocks anyone that disagrees with her. It's the mentality of a child who isn't getting her way. She hasn't learned anything from this interaction. She's probably super ignorant at the fact, but we're going to dive further into this. So if you look at like literally all of her responses, like everything, she just someone went at her for saying that she got the promotion or whatever for Rooster Teeth and stuff like that. I don't know about that. I can't report on that, but she's claiming, oh, I've worked with Rooster Teeth, but it doesn't specifically say if she moved up or down because of what happened to Vic, so you can't necessarily trust that. But then here on the screen, what we got is a bunch of people just literally being copy and paste the same exact thing over and over and over again. Freedom of speech does not equal freedom to ruin people's lives. Do false either, Monica. Like literally something like that. Are you kidding me? Power trip. Now this is her friend Jamie Marchi. She works at Funimation, and this is where you see the propaganda and the agenda pushed here, because she works for Funimation. This is Funimation's core principles that they released in the statement in the video that I made yesterday, where they literally said part of our core mission is to celebrate the diversity of the anime community and to share our love for this genre and its positive impact on all. We do not any kind of harassment or threatening behavior being directed at anyone. But they're going back on that with their employees. Like literally, that's why they got rid of Vic, right? Literally, that's why they got rid of
I'm sorry, the mic is off right there. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole situation kind of escalated by the behavior of Monica Rial, and a lot of people are talking about this and wondering how she was reacting to the fans and everything. And it's kind of sad. It's kind of a sad situation that it's hard for me to believe in the situation, because I don't want to bother her. I don't want to harass her, as she claims. But her behavior, and I can understand her anger in this whole situation, but at the same time, it kind of bothered me a lot on her behavior. Now, a lot of people are bringing up this stuff because of the fact that she believes in the victim, and I understand she supports this, but a lot of people are questioning this for a reason, and a lot of people, it's understandable that they have to, because they want to protect the person that is hurt. And at times, we don't know if Vic is really a... But I know this for a fact that Vic is an asshole, because I did encounter him at a convention before. But he's not a bad person per se. But I'm just going to say this right now. I don't really think Vic is what other people think he is. Because I don't know him personally, and I understand that the reason why he goes to every anime convention there is to land a job in the animation industry, so he can do more acting. And a lot of people pointed this out to me when I talked about this issue. I can understand that Monica Rial is trying to support this in order to get more work in the industry, to show that she has more clout to prove herself as an actress. But I had to look this up. I had to look up some stuff about this whole issue about Monica Rial, and I had to see what jobs she had done for anime, because I had to figure out, because I know that she has been doing this for almost a decade. She has done several titles. She has done several animes, and I understand that this is something that she has done. She has done Gasaraki. She has done Mass Effect. She has done the Dragon Ball show. She has done Summer Wars movies. She did the Evangelion movies. You may know her for a lot of her voice acting. She has done a lot of directing, writing for Funimation for a while, and Sentai Works, and Dragon Age. She has done that too. Now, keep this in mind, a lot of the work she has done for almost a long time. She even did Megazone 23 Part 2, okay. That's her chops on actress, and XL Saga since 1999. Now, keep this in mind. Let me see what her IMDb page is right now, because I got to look it up and see what she has. And God, this thing's loads slow. Because I'm trying my best to get look this up, because this is just pretty bad. Damn it, this thing really sucks for loading. And I'm waiting for this to load up, because I got to look up her IMDb page. Now, let's see. She has done anime since... She has done voice acting since... let's see. She has done it when she was at age 20... Let's see, 2000. Okay, she has done... I know she has done Blue Seed. Let's see. She has done Sakura Diaries. That was in 2005. Detective Conan. I know that she even did Sorcerer Hunter's OVA. She has done Those Who Hunt Elves. Oh, and she actually did Martian successor to Deska, which happens to be my favorite show. Keiko. She did that one. Evangelion, she has done that too, but she did the 2004 cut. Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. Misa Hesse. Let's see what else. Yu Yu Hakusho Ghost Files. Let's see. She did that in 2000 something. Coco in Dragon Ball Z Brawly Second Coming. Let's see. Original Dirty Pair, which the AVD subs were in the mid 2003s. She had done a lot of titles since around 2003. And she did about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 titles. Almost about 30 titles in the industry. Now, I actually realized this is something that she has done for a long time, and it's kind of interesting that a lot of people have been talking about this this whole thing. And she has done the Brawly movie. I don't see why she's upset. And right now she's doing My Hero Academia as well, and also Genlock, which she's also in. And SS Gridman, she also did that. She also did Radiant. She did My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, Ruby. She did a lot of stuff, and I don't see why people would say that she is trying to put down another person's career, because she has done she did a lot of shows, and it's like I'm looking at this going like, okay, she didn't really do any bad acting. Now let's go look up Vic Mignogna's IDD page, because a lot of people are questioning this because of the fact that the accusations that happened to him. The IMDb page here, I'm looking it up here. He has done almost pre-production. Okay, so he has done a lot, but it looks like a lot of them will be canceled considering what happened, because he has done several productions around the mid 2000s through the 90s. Let's see here. Let's look around here. He has done productions since Gotcha Man. Let's see what else. Street Fighter V series, Super Dimensional Fortress. He's done a lot of animes, that's for sure. And he did his own production of his own TV show that he wanted to do, which was Star Trek Continues. But the thing about this is that a lot of people are talking about this and saying that this is a lot of the stuff that bothers me about it. Now, let's continue on, and I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the video here to show you guys the whole issue of the video that people are having, because a lot of people are talking about this whole situation. Now, I'm going to skip through this and go ahead and... Now, I'm going to continue on with what this guy discussed.
So explain to me, Jamie Marchi, what kind of comment is this? Yes, I want his head, I want his balls, I want him to feel an ounce of the pain he's caused on others, then fucking choke on it. I want you to take his dick out of your ear so you can actually hear me in reality. That's harassment to Vic. Vic should be able to sue her for that reason alone. But no, Funimation isn't going to side with they're not going to take any of these women and hold them accountable for what their balls. I want... What kind of comment is this? Yes, I want his head, I want his balls, I want him to feel an ounce of the pain he's caused on others, then fucking choke on it. I want you to take his dick out of your ear so you can actually hear me in reality. That's harassment to Vic. Vic should be able to sue her for that reason alone. But no, Funimation isn't going to side with they're not going to take any of these women and hold them accountable for what they're saying here. And then you go back to her, she's harassing people just like that as much. Doing this much spam and telling every single one that, hey, you commented something on me on a social media platform, you commented, asked me a question, and I'm gonna report you for harassment. That's also harassment if you're doing false allegations, because some of these guys are genuinely asking questions. And if they want to, and literally, that's what her friend is saying in one of her tweets. I literally say, I have a voice, I'm not afraid to use it. But if you use it against them, you should be afraid to use it, and they're gonna put you against for harassment. Does this make any sense whatsoever? This is the same thing as like a little kid in the playground. Literally, go back to like recess in maybe first grade. The kid that constantly changes the rules. So like, let's say we're playing freeze tag, you tag them, all of a sudden the rules just changed. Oh, well, you didn't hit me, or you just touched my shirt, or something like that. And, oh, I got unfreezed in 5 seconds. This is a childlike mentality. They need to be held accountable, but are they? No, they're pushing a propaganda. Funimation has their back. This is an agenda, folks. Let me see if I can find it while I'm in front of you guys here. Thanks, Mike. You're right. I forgave him. But when I heard stories from 3 dear friends identical to what happened to me, I got angry. That was after the Broly premiere, when those photos were taken. It's easy to ditch a friend when you found out they hurt people you love. So, what are the stories from the 3 dear friends? And can you mention the 3 dear friends at all? Can we find some names to these people so we can actually find these allegations, at least from their point of view? If you don't want to talk about it, let them come forth and talk about it. Why are people calling you brave when they could be the ones that easily could be brave? Give me something so that way I know that I'm not defending someone that's in the wrong. But they're not gonna do that. They're gonna leave you with vague information. That's why she's like, oh, I heard stories from 3 dear friends. I heard a story from this person, from this person, from this person, never telling you any of the information, or even the friends for that matter. This could be imaginary friends. This could be SpongeBob's bubble buddy for all you know. So her claims are insanely invalid. She's on a power trip. The other one's on a power trip. Funimation's covering their ass. In this particular interview, let me see if I can pull this up real quick, if this is the right one. All right, so here's the agenda.
After my accident,
Bulma is just as terrifying because she's incredibly intelligent and knows how to manipulate people really well. This is a quote from her. Okay. Does anybody remember this? The backlash from the SJWs for the Broly movie. And let me go back over this. Hashtag ban Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is a misogynistic, sexist show. It degrades women. Any man that supports the show, they support sexism and misogyny. That show teaches boys and men how to disrespect women. It teaches toxic masculinity, and we as women need to unite and ban anime in general. Take this into consideration with, let's hold them accountable for this, Jamie. So let's go back to Jamie for a second, and this is her thoughts and opinions on anyone critiquing Monica or like coming at her in any way, shape, or form. Harassing Monica isn't an option either. You can't harass Monica, but I have a voice and I will use it. You guys can't. Like, literally, we're dealing with people who either follow their great leader like zombies or their incel fuckwads. Logic is not their strong suit. I have a voice and I'm gonna use it. So, like, literally, someone came at her and they were like, give us proof that you were harassed, right? And then she's like, you don't believe me? And then blah, 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 you don't believe me? And then all of a sudden she hits him with this. Oh, so what do you want from me? If you are demanding more evidence, I don't have anything other than my word. I won't be shamed because of that. I'm proud of my word. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of where I'm standing. You don't even know where you're standing if you use your own logic against yourself. You want to silence others, but at the same time, you're going to claim, oh, I have a voice. I have a voice and I need to use it. Get out of here. All I am saying overall here, guys, is be very careful with these type of people in society. At the end of the day, everyone, Vic could still be in the wrong. I'm not saying he's 100% in the right, but these are the idiots he has to deal with on a constant basis, and this is why I'm worried for what happens here, because Funimation isn't going to give them any repercussions. You guys have seen what they're saying and what their actions are in the light of day. Like, literally, everyone's seeing these actions and we're all speaking up about it, and they try to silence you, but then at the same time they're using stupid logic saying, oh, but you can't silence us, and they'll make up a bunch of shit and then they'll harass you just as much, if not more than what they're getting. And it's like, yo, if you just ask them a question, just asking them a question, You're harassing them. You're in the same boat as Vic. And Vic isn't even proven to be guilty, but you're just as guilty because in Monica's own words, that's only in the court of law. So you're guilty until proven innocent, and she could be as two-faced as ever with Vic. Literally a month ago, they were all chilling together. She was sending him kissy-faced emojis. They used Vic, kept them on the squad to promote the Broly movie, and apparently nobody had any problems with it until after the movie dropped, after the money came in, after the success came in. That's when they pushed him out the door. So, like, if you look at it from that point of view, he was used as promotional material. They kept him around till they could use him as much as possible, and just kicked him out the door. Krillin sided with Monica based on literally their friendship. And that's where I would say he's 100% in the wrong, because no matter how truthful someone is, you can never really...
Kirk Bernard and his...
Sorry guys, commercial.
be sure when they're going to be untruthful. And in this situation, this is what he's siding with. This is what he's siding with. Okay, so Krillin, right off the bat, I lost all accountability for you. Chris Sabat, one of her closest friends, that gives you a unique look as to what your personality is like, and you protecting this type of behavior, that gives me an insight as to where you're on this stance as well. And then Sean Schemmel, there's a video floating around of him doing a Vic Mignogna parody, and it doesn't seem, I mean, he's been quiet on Twitter and stuff like that, but it doesn't seem like he's a big fan of Vic. And absolutely nothing really put forth. Things that we've seen have been doctored, and they just keep saying, oh, we have stories, we have all these stories, but no one's gone into detail on any of them. Oh, he's giving me a really tight hug. Here's a picture of him hugging a girl. The girl is hugging him back just as much, and they're like, oh, that was a really close hug. How close do you expect a hug to be? Do you want him to get up and hug her like this? Literally, over here, okay. It doesn't make any sense. This is a witch hunt. This is a social justice warrior infiltration of anime culture. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Am I going crazy? Or if you just take all of these things, are they the crazy ones? Because literally, if you look at their tweets and replies, this speaks crazy. Like, literally, look at this.
Okay, I guess I should try to say something here, because this is something that a lot of people are saying about this whole situation. I know that most people are kind of surprised by the whole accusations of Vic Mignogna, and I hate to say this. It's kind of harsh to say this, but this whole situation. Sorry if I mispronounce it. The whole situation escalated pretty badly, because both sides of the argument are really turning sour. Because one side says he's guilty, one side says he's innocent, and it's a really big divide on if it's true or not. The only experience that I have with Vic was, yeah, he was an asshole, but I don't think he sort of did this. He went to every anime convention just to promote himself, just to promote the shows that he was working on. That was it from what I remembered, because I used to volunteer for IkiCon. I used to volunteer for, I think, small anime conventions in Texas, in the South, and I met him once, and he seemed like a really nice person to his fans, to all his female fans. Yeah, he could be a bit of a dick to people, and I can confirm that, but I don't think he is that bad of a person. I noticed that a lot of fans keep bringing up his yaoi, he doesn't want to sign yaoi thing, and a lot of people, it's mostly the LGBTQ community who gets upset with him. And I noticed that a lot of these so-called fans of that are LGBTQ have been asking him several times about this, bringing it up about him not signing Yao, or Yuri or whatever because it wasn't canon. But he explained he's a Christian, and a lot of people attack him for being Christian. And I noticed that some of a lot of the people who bring up his Christian background are attacking him for that too. Now, even I noticed there was one voice actor who was in a part of the camp that's against him. A lot of people didn't like him. I understand that it's Scott. What was his name? See if I could find him. Scott. To my understanding, he got upset about this guy. I know that he kind of called a bunch of Jesus freaks pedophiles. I don't even know if that tweet exists, but a lot of people bring this up about him, bringing up his behavior and everything. And I actually had to look this up because a lot of the stuff that they do is kind of surprising. A lot of people were talking about this issue because of the concern about whether or not he did it or not. It's getting to that middle ground right now where people are arguing and fighting, and literally Monica Rial is not doing a good job of convincing people of Vic's if Vic is guilty or not. Because right now she is literally getting upset over small little things where people are asking, hey, well, can you give me information about what's going on? I'm not aware if Vic is innocent or guilty. And the problem is that a lot of people just want to know who is making these accusations, who is trying to say that he did this, because they want to know and hear from them, because they would rather hear from them than Monica herself. And Monica is becoming a problem on social media, telling everyone Vic is guilty as charged. And the problem here is that you see all these voice actors are doing it as well, and they just want to hear from the horse's mouth themselves. And that's the thing that I can understand. But some people would rather, I understand that some of them would rather be hiding because they don't want to get attacked for accusing him. They don't want to get they would rather, but I understand some people would rather hear from the horse's mouth themselves. And that's understandable. But the problem is Monica deliberately is not the PR person. And I can understand she's just a voice actress that does her job doing productions and directing and all that other stuff. The thing is, a lot of people would rather hear from the horse's mouth, and that's the thing, that's the issue. And the problem is, Monica herself and her behavior kind of makes people question, is Vic innocent or guilty? I don't know. Because of the things that are being said about Vic, there are some things that also presented, like some people presented evidence that there was a Facebook group that talked about Vic, and a lot of people questioned whether Vic did this. Whether Vic was innocent because of the fact that these people tried to create like fake memes of accusations about Vic and a lot of things that happened, like altered images. And it was already been proven that one of the women in question that hugged and kissed Vic allowed Vic to have a picture of him kiss her. And it was full consent, and the parent even granted permission because she was a fan of Vic, and she didn't want her picture being used, because Anime News Network did this and went too far on it, to the point that they really wanted to get Vic into trouble. Now, keep this in mind. A lot of people are talking about this situation, and it's getting to escalate to the point that some people are not believing it, and some people do believe it. Now, I'm not going to try to, and I understand some people brought up about Vic. There was an accusation where Vic, many years ago, was a high school teacher, and someone on social media brought up her story, narrating it, and then she kind of brought up the whole Christian fundamentalism and patriarchal order and bullshit. And it's like, I get it, but he stuck and this woman claimed that she was a young girl or in high school, and Vic tried to stick her tongue in in her ear. It was funny, and it was hard for me. It was like it read like a crappy noir novel when I read this whole thing on social media. And it kind of hard. The part that made me question it was the fact that she kind of said this whole patriarchal Christian fundamentalist thing, and I'm like, oh God, you're one of those people. Okay. Now, the thing that bothers me about this is that some people bring this up, and I basically had to talk about this a lot because. Is Vic innocent? Is Vic guilty? A lot of people talked about this. And presenting the video as it is, it was kind of funny listening to a lot of the accusations. And especially, let me go ahead and find another video that just popped up. And let me go ahead and find it. Let me see here. Because someone actually gave me a video showing... and I had to agree with ex-lover Newman Pro, because he made an interesting video, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this video. He made a good point of people making this video. Let me see if I can...
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Gentlemen, boys and girls, trolls and citizens, the JJs and PPs. This is your boy X-Lover Newman giving to you a video that I usually don't do. But this video is going to get straight to the point. I don't want to waste any of your time. Anyone who's super inclined with the Vic Mignogna situation should watch this video. The reason why is because I'm going to give you a unique perspective. Trust me when I say that this lesson doesn't come by you too often. Super quick, boring story, but when I was younger, I was a huge fan of Vic Mignogna. Not just him, but the voice acting panels in general. I was a huge fan of Dragon Ball, Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, etc, etc. Like a lot of kids in the early 2000s, I was watching Toonami, and I was watching DC animated films, cartoons, and Marvel cartoons as well. I became aware of Vic's super talent through Dragon Ball and Full Metal Alchemist. Now, anyone watching this video probably immediately assumes that I'm gonna be biased to Vic Mignogna because I'm a fan. But none of you know me personally, and to inform you, I'm the most unbiased person in the world, including with things that I enjoy and I love. I can always look at somebody that I admire as just a human being. I was never that freak person that worshipped celebrities or worshipped someone because I enjoyed them. I wasn't even planning on uploading a video on this Vic Mignogna situation at all, actually. But then day by day I began to see the social media outroar about the Vic Mignogna situation, people's opinions about the situation. Then I ran into a YouTuber named Meepy Gal, and when I began to watch her take on the Vic Mignogna situation, I said to myself, I have the golden template right here.
What do you mean by that, X-Lover Newman?
Meepy Gal makes a video about her opinions on the matter. What I really liked about her video was that she actually gave Vic Mignogna's statement in his defense. I thought that was really cool. So as not to influence you by my opinion, I want to play you a clip of her take on the Vic Mignogna situation when she met him. Now, what I want you to do is, instead of looking at her as a YouTuber, pretend you're talking to her. Pretend you're next to her and she's telling you this story.
Oh, Dave and I start the interview and he is straight up delirious. He looks like he just like hasn't slept for like 48 hours. He looks so delirious. I kind of get nervous. He just starts getting like really close and he grabs the mic out of my hand and I'm like, the fuck? Like, okay. And then he starts trying to interview me and Dave like back and forth. And he'd ask questions like, oh, are you two dating? Or like just weird shit. And he'd just get like close to both of us and we were just like, yep, we were right. This dude is fucking weird.
So if I never met Vic Mignogna or wasn't aware of who he was, I would immediately think that this guy was a really strange dude. I mean, by the way Meepy Gal tells the story, you would think Vic Mignogna was some asshole, but in fact, not only does she edit the video to make it more extreme.
Hi, we are with Vic Mignogna tonight.
So we are with what's left of Vic Mignogna.
So delirious, I kind of get nervous.
Let's play it here. Hi, I'm Vic Mignogna. I'm here interviewing. What's your name?
Christina.
He just starts getting like really close and he grabs the mic out of my hand.
She doesn't tell the full story. Lucky for you viewers, I have the original video. Let's play the clip of the video, and then we'll analyze it after.
Hi, we are with Vic Mignogna tonight.
So we are with what's left of Vic Mignogna. Oh my gosh, what a great day at SoccerCon, you guys. The fans here are amazing. I just finished an autograph session and it was 5 hours long. Finished an autograph session and it was 5 hours long.
He looks like he just like hasn't slept for like 48 hours.
I just finished an autograph session and it was 5 hours long.
That is intense. Does your hand hurt from signing
No,
everything?
but I can't see very well right now.
Oh.
Is that a camera? There's a microphone. I mean, just so really strung out, but in a good way. In a really excited way to be here and to be spending the day doing this.
Yeah. Have any highlights so far?
The highlights are always the fans.
Always the fans.
No matter where I go, you know, different cities are cities and buildings are buildings, but at the end of the day, it's the people that you get to meet. And I met some awesome people today. It's been a great time. How about you? Let's play it here. Hi, I'm Vic Mignogna. I'm here interviewing. What's your name?
Christina.
I'm here interviewing Christina. She's here at SoccerCon. Christina, what have been the highlights of your day? Here, let's trade. How are you doing? How have you been enjoying the weekend?
I'm doing fine.
What's your name?
David.
David? What's your favorite color, David?
Red.
From that story, without any footage, you would immediately think that he was just this weird, crazy guy that grabbed the microphone from this poor, helpless girl. But in the video, he literally states himself that he's been signing autographs for 5 hours straight. He's not there and he's delirious. And for being delirious and signing autographs for 5 hours, I think he actually did a pretty great job. And we see in the video that the reason why Vic Mignogna took the microphone away from her was because he was trying to fix the awkwardness. She was awkwardly interviewing him. They were both awkward. Clearly I'm not attacking Meepy Gal for her interviewing skills. She's a young girl that's interviewing somebody probably for the first time. But nonetheless, that doesn't change the fact that it's still kind of awkward. However, I just have a huge question of why she edited the part out where he explains why he's delirious. And that's sort of what leads me to my point. Human beings are very much an inaccurate source. It's very rare to come by people who are just extremely accurate about their stories. I have a strange feeling that if Vic Mignogna was Kevin Hart, the interview wouldn't be taken that seriously. For those who don't know Vic Mignogna, he was a goofball. He was somewhat of a comedian back then too, not just a voice actor. He would always joke. He was very childlike. But why you should always reserve judgment until a case is fully finished or until you have the evidence is because of this exact example in this video. It's a very simple principle. Human beings do not always tell the story right. I would be curious to ask Meepy Girl if she's never been awkward with anyone, if she's never been goofy with anybody, if she's never been a little weird sometimes even, but harmless. I'm not saying she's intentionally trying to destroy Vic Mignogna's legacy, but I just do find it strangely odd how she intentionally edited the video to make it sound and look like Vic Mignogna is a weirdo. But what I see and what all the people around me see is a tired, delirious, goofy man that's been working all day. Ex-lover, are you saying he's innocent? I have to go back to what I said before. I don't know if he's innocent. I don't know if he's guilty. I don't have the evidence. And I think every single person has to ask themselves 3 questions. Were you there? Did you hear anything? And did you see anything? If all those questions are a no, then you indeed cannot condemn Vic Mignogna, and you indeed cannot defend him unless you are someone personal to his life. In the video, you can clearly see he even gets just as close to the man as he does to Meepy Gal. This might be a culture shock to some people, but Italians are very much physically affectionate people, especially the older generation of Italians. Vic Mignogna is Italian, but for some strange reason, I have a feeling if Vic Mignogna was a female, none of his physical affection would be weird to anyone at all. I spoke earlier about the fact that Meepy Gal's video really is misleading, and if we were on a court process based on Vic Mignogna's personality, I would presume him innocent. Innocent in being a weirdo, even though that very much is perception. I mean, I remember the time when the media would attack Michael Jackson for going out with an umbrella. Everyone considered it so weird, so strange, until you find out later on that he was a victim of an autoimmune disease called lupus. That also doesn't count the fact that he was trying to protect his skin from the sun due to his vitiligo. All this was documented in his official autopsy. But without context, you would immediately think of someone as a freak or a strange person. I really can't imagine being one of the most famous people in the world and how many stories of yours is completely exaggerated and taken out of context. What people have to understand is if you blatantly and blindly defend Vic Mignogna because you're a fan of his, you are indeed doing harm to possible women that are victims of something horrible. To all of you blindly defending someone you don't know,
he gets these people who say he's a pervert and everything like that. No, he's not.
To all of you blindly defending someone you don't know, you do have to understand that if these allegations are true, these women, or this woman, we don't know all the information, has to live with what happened to her for the rest of her life. It never goes away. But if these allegations are false, Vic Mignogna has to live with this for the rest of his life. Vic Mignogna has to live with anguish and mental trauma for the rest of his life too. But false allegations seem to be something that people try to turn a blind eye on. What's never talked about too much is what men have to deal with when they are falsely accused, when they are truly innocent. Despite Michael Jackson being acquitted on all 10 counts, not 5, not 4, not 2, 10 counts, he is still to this day stamped by a lot of people as a pedophile. But what you don't see is the effect, the breakdown, the trauma that an innocent man goes through when he is being falsely accused.
It's not a second attack. Okay. I just want to be left alone. Why don't they leave me alone? Why? You know, I would never do anything to hurt a child. I'd slit my own wrist, Bill, before I did anything to hurt a child. You know, right?
Yes, sir.
You believe me?
Of course, sir. Of course.
You believe me, yes, Bill?
Yes.
If Vic Mignogna is innocent, he has to deal with this for the rest of his life. See, what you guys don't know, when men are accused, corporations stop working with them, contracts may get canceled or terminated. That immediately, it not only affects him, but affects his children, his wife, his family, his loved ones. Imagine you working at the job you work at now, woman or man, and you are falsely accused of something horrific such as rape or sexual harassment, and your job says to you, sorry, we don't want any of this smoke around us. We have to let you go permanently. Imagine the rage you would have of walking around somewhere every day knowing that you're innocent, but people deem you as a freak and a pedophile. You shouldn't defend anyone blindly. You shouldn't condemn anyone blindly, especially when you do not have the facts or evidence. Because history clearly shows that many many women have falsely and wrongly accused men of sexual crimes.
The end of Brian Banks' ordeal was marked by tears after a judge threw out the rape charge that had sent him to prison for more than 5 years.
My only dream in the world was to just be free and to have the same opportunity as everybody here.
When in 2002, a classmate accused Banks of raping her in the stairwell of their Long Beach high school. Although Banks insisted it was consensual and there was no sex, he told KCBS-TV that his defense attorney at the time gave him a choice: plead no contest to rape or risk a trial that could send him to prison for life.
When you go into that courtroom, the jury is going to see a big black teenager and you're automatically going to be assumed guilty. Those are her exact words.
He took the deal, went to prison, and had to register as a sex offender. He thought that was the end of it. But after he was released, came a surprise. A friend request on Facebook from his accuser, Juanetta Gibson.
I remember closing the laptop just like real quick and just like thinking like, what did I just see?
So Banks arranged a meeting with a private investigator who videotaped the whole thing.
No, he did not.
Gibson later explained she hadn't wanted to say that publicly for fear of losing a $1.5 million settlement that her family had gotten after suing the school district.
Owen. Well, Liam, let's also talk about the platform that you're on, because we're sitting here, we're talking to you, your mum's here beside you, we all know who you are, we all know what you're accused of, your life was put on hold, and people, you know, a lot of people would have said there's no smoke without fire.
And we also know that many women have truly been victims of sexual crimes. Respectfully to Meepy Gal, she was reckless in her storytelling. And by seeing the footage of the story that she recounts, it's the perfect example of the theme of this entire video: context. To all the people promoting the message, believe all women, or believe all survivors, I have one question for you. Do you have one man in your life that you love to the ends of the earth? Whether it's your son, your father, your grandpa, uncle, husband, whoever he may be. If that man in your life that you love and you know beyond a doubt would never do anything to harm a woman or anyone, if he was accused of sexually harassing somebody at work, would you immediately go and condemn him and defend the woman? And if your answer is yes, I'm very glad I don't know you. If Vic is innocent, you have to understand that when men are falsely accused of these things, they are also gutted. They are also traumatized. And for the rest of their life, they have to have a stamp on their forehead as a possible pedophile. So the message of this video is simple. To all of you blindly defending or condemning Vic Mignogna, or defending and condemning the possible victim or victims of Vic Mignogna, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, as you can see. And it's pretty bad right now because a lot of people have been talking about this for a while. Now, keep this in mind. This is something that a lot of people are talking about, and it's pretty bad right now. Because it's obvious. I do agree with his personal reason, because he actually pointed out we don't know what actually happened, so therefore we can't really say anything about him. I understand that some people, support the victim, some people support Vic, and it's getting to the point where it's starting a really big divide in the anime community over this whole thing. And I realized, it's stupid. It's getting to the point where, I don't really... It's sad that Vic Mignogna lost his job. And he already lost his job. He's no longer working for Funimation anymore. They will no longer do projects with him or any production for the any anime in the near future with him, because he is gone. And the thing about that is that it's sort of sad that people are not happy about this, because it's It's getting to the point where a lot of people are not happy. It's a really bad situation between on social media. It's getting to the point where it's getting toxic. It gets to the point where people are fighting each other, even going so far as doxing and street fights and all this other bullshit that's been happening. Let me go ahead and see what I can find on social media that would be interesting news for you guys. Because a lot of people are talking about this whole thing. And I'm just a little bit sad by this. Because a lot of people are talking pretty loudly about this. And I understand a lot of you guys are talking about this as well. There's been some talk about this, so I'm going to go ahead and see what I could do here, because I know that some people are... There is a conspiracy. Oh, yeah. Here we go, guys. Here we go. There's a conspiracy in WoW that the LGBTQ, it turns out they stole the rainbow. No, I'm not kidding. Some guy actually put this on World of Warcraft stating, and I'm going to go ahead and get this out there. And I'm going to show you guys the picture. And this is what this guy claimed. Damn, the LGBTQ plus are thieves. They stole my rainbow. They're going crazy. No alliance. This server is a LGBTQ plus since 2013. No doubt it's bad time. Offline. Okay, here we go. Damn the LGBTQ thieves. They stole my rainbow. Which kind of... There's a conspiracy that they have stolen... The LGBTQ plus had stolen the rainbow. I'm not kidding. They did. For some reason... This guy claims that they have stolen the rainbow. For some reason, this guy named Winter Knight on World of Warcraft claims on the server, and I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the server, Emerald Dreams had stolen his rainbow. I'm not kidding. The LGBTQ have stolen his rainbow. Now, it's a conspiracy that's been happening lately. Did the LGBTQ steal the rainbow? That's the question right now today, ladies and gentlemen. Did the LGBTQ steal the rainbow? A conspiracy that's literally... A conspiracy and a conspiracy. Did the LGBTQ steal the rainbow from this guy? We don't know. We can't confirm it. But then again, that's pretty much what happened. So, that happened when I was on World of Warcraft, though, by the way. I was just joking. So, let's see here. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see here. A lot of people are talking about this. Okay, I guess I better go ahead and talk about Booker T, because a lot of people are talking about Booker T's comic book and everything. Apparently, Booker T is suing Activision over Call of Duty's Prophet character, ladies and gentlemen. Now, a lot of people are talking about this, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the article by PC Gamer. Sorry, wrong one. Sorry, wrong one. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys.
Oh, that's hot.
This is the article from PC Gamer. Booker T. Huffman, famous among wrestling fans, superstar as Booker T, has filed a copyright infringement lawsuit against Activision, alleging that the Call of Duty character David Prophet Wilkes, based on G.I. Bro, is a persona Huffman created in the early years of his wrestling career. In 2015, Huffman collaborated with Travis Huffman, no relations, on drawings based on the character. Ultimately, a comic book called G.I. Bro and the Dragon of Death. Huffman has promoted the character and books by appearing as G.I. Bro at comic events, and is credited as the author and sole owner of the property. He also applied for copyrights on the artwork and comics. Prophet appearance in Black Ops 3 depicted him as a heavily augmented cybernetic, but in last year's Black Ops 4, he appears as his pre-altered self. And then in Lies in Trouble, Huffman finally includes still images of G.I. Bro art next to the Black Ops 4 promo shot of Prophet. Specifically, at least they do look alike. Now you can see right here, you can see this guy right here and that guy with the bandana right there with the black bandana. It does seem like they look alike with the dreadlocks and everything. Now, let's go ahead and look at the image, because I want to look at the image here and click on it. You can see right here, this is the comic book. Has the dreadlocks and the black bandana. You can see right here, he's wearing like some type of hat with dreadlocks, with a gun. Now, it does almost look like it. It does have similarities. Now, Mikhail Dorshin and Potts of Potts Law Firm, which represents Huffman, puts it in somewhat of firmer terms, a blog post. When seen side by side, there can be no question that this character was copied from G.I. Bro. From the hair, body type, and clothing, right down to the facial expressions, and the similarities are too profound to be by accident, he said. Booker T has devoted a significant amount of time and money creating an organical growing his G.I. Bro character. That entrepreneurial investment should not be erased by such a brilliant act of copyright infringement by gaming juggernaut. The lawsuit states that Black Ops 4 achieved 500 million in sales in its first 3 days of release, and total sales that are brought to exceed $1 billion. Booker T has never authorized defendants to reproduce his G.I. Bro works, including depictions of the character Book or G.I. Bro in any form. Booker T has never entered into any agreement of any kind with the defendants. In fact, to acknowledge Booker T has never personally had any contact with the defendants, he says. This infringement activities has resulted in hundreds of millions of dollars in sales of infringement copies of Booker T's G.I. Bro works. A lawsuit available in full of Scribe respectfully demands the trial by jury, details which will be filed in separate documents. And now, here's G.I. Bro in an ambulance match with the late, great Mike Awesome. Oh, man, I feel bad. I used to remember G.I. Bro, a.k.a. Booker T. But sad part is Mike Awesome is no longer around. He died a long time ago. As I remember, Booker T used to be a part of a wrestling group, a wrestling duo, which was Harlem Heat. And I used to remember Jacqueline was a part of Harlem Heat, too, because she used to be their manager. And she was really buff, man. She was really hot, too. She was really hot, I have to admit. But the thing is, you know, I can understand Booker T is suing them because the likeness of his character in Black Ops almost looks legitimately but except it's not even, his muscles are not really that big though. That's the thing that bothers me about it, is that his muscles are like, he looks like a skinny version but you can tell that the bandana and the dreadlocks do look similar. And the thing is, it's like, I don't know. The problem here is that a lot of people are talking about this whole situation, and I think Booker T does do this. If they would have hired Booker T to do this, I would so be like, yeah, I would buy this game because Booker T's in it, bro. But the funny thing about it is that, yeah, it does look similar to him, and it's like, why am I not surprised by this? Is that, yeah, Booker T, he was also he was 6-time champion, but he was also a tag team champion with his friend Harlem Heat in the WCW days and WWE days. It's a shame that he didn't get his chance to go into his chance to be I think he was the United States champion in the WCW as well, as I remember. But he has done a lot of stuff. To his credibility, he's a really good wrestler. It's just a shame that I wish that he would brought back Harlem Heat. I would love to see him wrestle with his buddy again, but they no longer work together anymore. So that's pretty much it right there. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the main chat screen. See what I got here. Yeah, let's see what else is there that is going to be interesting. So I'm just looking around for some news because I have talked about the whole Sony situation. I will bring up the Sony situation because there's been a lot of talk about the Sony situation on Twitter. And it's kind of personal because I kind of feel bad for Sony of America and what they're doing. So let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah. You may have heard that Sony president John Corderia, who oversaw PS4 censorship policies, gets replaced by Jim. Now, a lot of people are talking about this issue that he's being replaced by Jim Ryan. For those who don't know Jim Ryan, he did an interview. He once questioned the viability of backwards compatibility in an interview with Time, and Ryan kind of brought up this thing and said that they had PS1, PS2, and PS3 and PS4, and the PS1 and PS2 games. They looked at ancient and like, why would anybody play this? Yep. A lot of people are questioning this because a lot of people are worried that Jim might just destroy the backwards compatibility thing in the PS5 in the near future. Now Jim Ryan is now officially going to be the president of Sony, overseeing Sony overseas. Now it's kind of sad that this is going to happen because a lot of people are a little bit let's just say not happy about this, because he's going to be the deputy president of Sony Interactive Entertainment, working because I know Correa will now be reelected to deputy president of Sony Entertainment, working on the user experience and enhancing the network areas, while Jim Ryan will be taking over Corderia's position as president and CEO starting October. This has come shortly after Cordera, sorry if I can't pronounce his name right, was appointed in position of Sony Entertainment, Sony Interactive Entertainment president back in October 2017, noted by Bloomberg. Following the effective April of 2018, Cordera restructured Sony Entertainment with a mandate that Sony Interactive Entertainment Japan would answer directly to Corderia and the California offices instead of operating with domestic autonomy. In the press release and stated, in order to ensure the coordination between organization and support function are overseas locally, John Corderia, the president and CEO of SIE, and Jim Ryan assumed the role of executive in charge of the regions. Corderia is with responsibility for American and Japan, Asia, and Ryan for Europe. The current Sony Interactive Entertainment Japan and America president Nobushi Moriarty will report directly to Corderia and support management of the cross-functional activities for Japan, Asia markets. The decision was wide sweep FX to the PlayStation brand later into 2018. Effectively underwent the drastic content policy changes that was saw in Sony's California office, enforcing PS4 censorship and policy. Sony never came out and made a public statement about it, but other than when SIE Japan President Nobushi Moriarty, sorry if I can't pronounce his name right, Asushi Moriarty, that's how you pronounce his name, stated that changes have been implemented to align with global standards. Lots of games were impacted by the decision. Sony held steadfast in forcing developers, mostly those from Japan, to censor their games, even when only releasing titles in Japan, even when they were rated Serial D for those 17 years of age or older. With the recent regime change, there's really no telling how this will impact the current PS4 censorship policies. One thing that was made clear through the press release, Kodaira is downplaying the domination starting. I have been discussing with Yoshida-san needing to drive SIE to of the next phase of our rapidly changing business environment, realizing the environment of the PlayStation platform, further enriching the user experience made possible through the network, which is essentially the value of people expecting the entertainment of PlayStation providers. As a result, we have concluded that the best direction for Jim to take the helm overall management of SIE, which is Sony Interactive Entertainment, and for me to spearhead the network area to continue creating innovations and services and experiences where competition continues to intensify with many new players joining the business. Jim has extensive knowledge around the game business and industry, as well as deep understanding of the PlayStation culture and strength. I'm confident that he will lead us to great success. Yeah, really. Jim has knowledge of this. Yes, infamously stated that the Sony focus was on the new games, which is why they didn't focus on backwards compatibility on the PlayStation 4, telling Eurogamer back in 2018. I know a big thing that was made about at E3, it's a feature we go through when we launch the new console. It's a feature that gets much talked about, but it's a feature that is not used that much. People move on very quickly. It was very interesting to look at the montage of various Tekken and seeing how those have evolved over the years, with the first one, which I loved, looks prehistoric. The next generation comes along and people just jump on it at it. It gets talked about and it's always high on the list of what people want to. It's not a feature that gets used as much, but on focus is the new games. Hopefully Ryan has evolved over the last 4 years, but maybe he'll learn from Cordera's mistakes as president of Sony Interactive Entertainment, that we'll find out if PS4 censorship policies will stay in place when Ryan takes the reins of the Sony division and begins his leadership tiering in April. So it looks like we'll be expecting the policy changes, because a lot of people are kind of worried that the Japanese games will be censored, and they hope that Jim would take over. so that he could probably minimize it. Now, a lot of people have talked about this, and a lot of people are also worried that if they bring out the PS5, will it have backwards compatibility? Because everyone's hoping that if it could play like PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4 games, and also because it would be interesting to see that happen, because a lot of people are hoping that because the thing is, you know, a lot of people want to play the old games that they never played before, and some people still do, because a lot of people asked about the old games back then, if it could have backwards compatibility. Yes and no, but some people want that feature in there because they want to play the old games. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do some stuff right now. Let's see what else is also going to be interesting news, because I know that I'm probably boring the hell out of you guys. There's also some news on the internet. It turns out everyone's favorite DJ Deadmau5 has been banned off of Twitch and will no longer be using Twitch anymore. A lot of people who don't know Deadmau5, he's a digital. I know he mixes really good songs, but the problem is that according to Rob Brussel, he said this on Reddit. Deadmau5 said, "Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I knew it was a fun place to connect and fuck around, but I'm not going to stand for Twitch double standards when it comes to censoring a suspension for me for a harmless shit. While we had some fun partnership here and there, and they were a great company to work with, but I'm gonna have to cut this one short. I don't have the capacity to deal with this kind of shit. Whenever a dude, the internet is just basically full of shit for most part. While what I said was generally toxic as fuck, not only an ideology, I hold closely to my moral standing by a fucking long shot. It was by some bottom-feeding piece of shit from Colorado who decided to make it news, proving once again that online clickbaity world is a piece of fucking shit. A good day. While intended to insult the fucking asshat who was being a fucking asshat, it wasn't indirectly at the entrance group of people who have people who have a sexual orientation, but that differs from my own. Fuck off with that shit. I know who I am, and I don't have to fucking sit here and cry and defend my fucking self with that obligatory. I'm not that person. I'm sorry. Reflect. If I'm sorry for anything, I'm sorry that we live in a world where bottom-feeding pieces of shit can't sit there staring at a monitor watching me play video games. It's just waiting for someone to get tilted so that he can get a few fucking clicks. That's what I'm sorry for. The same people who knew what it was in the heat of the moment knew the purpose of the statement. That the people I think otherwise, I'm better off. What happened was he called someone a faggot. That's what he said to a stream sniper. That's what happened, and they banned him for it. Now, that's what Rob Bissell kind of pointed out, that Deadmau5 has been banned off of Reddit for saying... No, he actually banned off of Twitch for saying faggot. That's what happened. A lot of people are kind of upset about that when he said the slur and kind of got upset about it. I hate to use that word, but that's what happened. He said the F word and people got upset about that. And now he's banned from Twitter. No, actually, he's not banned from Twitter. He's banned from Twitch. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Wrong word. Now, there's another controversy that happened. It turns out Russ Pitts is leaving, is now leaving the escapist, ladies and gentlemen. What happened was he got attacked online by a group of people. And it's sort of sad that Zoe Quinn went after him. Everyone went after him. To the point that, yeah, he sort of caused a lot of problems for both sides, and basically destroyed the escapist itself by leaving it. So I'm going to go ahead and say this. It's kind of sad, but I'm going to go ahead and go, guys. I know this is like a boring show, and I'm sorry that I can't stay that long. I have to go, so I'll catch you guys later. Let's see if I could find it here. Here we go. Catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.